The International Newsnet World Report is a national television news show available in more than 30 million homes. We broadcast daily real news the networks won't tell you. We are solely viewer-supported. That means you. You can donate at our website, INNWorldReport.net. We hope you find the following interview informative and helpful.
In a move that appears to have been carefully orchestrated, New Mexico's impeachment resolution, SJR 5, was blocked from full debate on the Senate floor 1 week ago by a handful of Democratic senators, some of whom switched their support for the bill for unknown reasons. We're joined on the phone now by the bill's sponsor, Senator Jerry Ortiz Y Pino. Welcome to INN, Jerry.
Hey, how are you, Lenny? And also with me is Senator John Grubesic.
Well, that's a pleasant surprise to have both of you here.
We're sharing a cell phone, though, so we have to pass it back and forth.
I'm sure our viewers will understand, and we'll have very nice pictures of both of you up there. First, how did this come to pass? What is the general story of how the bill, which had received overwhelming support in 3 committees and was supported by the Democratic Party across the state, how is this blocked by Democratic senators on the floor of the Senate?
Well, in a nutshell, what happened is that the Republicans were very well prepared to shout down the voice motion to accept the committee report, and we were caught totally unaware. And so the chair had to rule that the nays had it, and then we appealed it, and we're simply not able to get enough Democrats to support the motion to accept the committee report. So they never had to go officially on record one way or the other on the actual impeachment resolution. And I'll let John, let me turn it over to John too, because he may have a slightly different take on that.
It was an interesting procedural maneuver, but as Senator Ortiz Y Pino pointed out, they were well prepared. They did not want a debate on the floor, and that was sort of their tack the entire time. They didn't show up for committee hearings. There was no true debate on this, and that was what was upsetting to me. Was I think that our national government ended up in the mess that it's in because they didn't show up to do their jobs, and that was some of the same feeling I had on this. Was they're just not showing up to even debate this. Nothing in our resolution called for impeachment. We were calling for an investigation, and they didn't even bother to show up to debate that. That's all we were asking for, was an investigation.
Senator Grubesic, the leader of the Senate, Ben Altamirano, and several of the others had been in favor of this. These are very smart men. They certainly knew that their action would indeed kill this bill from going to the floor. Do you have any understanding? It wasn't procedural, as most people see it. Do you have any understanding of why they decided not to debate this on the floor?
I haven't had a one-on-one discussion with Senator Altamirano or the other leaders in the Senate regarding why they didn't support, bringing this thing out. I think there were some concerns that it would have bogged down the process. I think that there was a real potential that it might have bogged down the process, but I think that's what we're here for, to have open and fair discussion. But like I said, I haven't had the opportunity. We're right in the middle of the legislative session right now, so I haven't had the opportunity to sit down and discuss it with the leadership, but I plan to as soon as we're out of this session, and so we can sort of figure out what happened.
Senator Altamirano's assistant told me on the phone that he believed that they didn't have the votes to pass this had it been debated on the Senate floor. Do you believe that's true?
I think the majority of the time we have a good feeling of knowing where our votes are, and I think that was probably a correct statement. They probably knew ahead of time where the votes were, and didn't feel comfortable bringing it out, knowing that it was going to go down from the start. But let me have Senator Ortiz Y Pino comment on that also.
Well, the way the New Mexico Senate breaks, it's 24 Democrats and 18 Republicans, so we don't have a huge majority. If any on any given issue, if 3 Democrats aren't with us, we suddenly are right on the margin. If one of them isn't there or is out ill or whatever, it becomes very difficult to do it as long as the Republicans are united. And this, of course, was one of those measures where they were totally united on this. So when there were 2 or 3 senators, Democrats, who represent very conservative parts of the state, so for them it was extremely difficult to stand with us, and they ultimately all went the other way.
Well, but we understand that several senators, including the head of the Senate, Senator Altamirano, and a co-sponsor of the bill, Senator Cisneros, who had been in favor of their vote, and that those who had counted votes before this came up believed that it was at worst too close to call, and at best that it would have passed. Are you surprised that senators switched their votes on this?
Well, we had a good 17 or 18 firm votes, and there was a matter of battling for the others. But we didn't. We only had, I think in the final analysis we had 15 votes.